It simply just comes down to this. You have to learn how to get better at problem solving. Let's get to this video. I want everybody on this page, everybody watching this video, if you think rich or wealthy people do not have problems, let me tell you something now. You're completely wrong. In life, there will be problems until the day you die. From when you were born to the day you die, there will be millions and billions of different problems that you have to solve. But I'm going to let you in on a little secret. We just get better at problem solving. We know as people, as humans, that we will always have problems. So what do? We try to not get any problems. But guess what? That's not accurate, gang. You will always and forever have problems. You just got to get better at problem solving, at solving those problems as fast and sufficient as you can. Don't think once you climb over that little hump, once you get that money in your bank account, once you started that business, once you anything, guess what? It's not over yet. You will still continuously have problems and still have obstacles in your way. It will never change. It will forever. That's just the way the world works. They slam problems in your face and you have to solve that problem as quick and efficiently as you can. And what sometimes the lower class poor people make is they try to solve problems way too fast with not knowing the correct answer for that problem is. You have to do your research to know 100% once you solve that problem, it will never come up again. The way the rich, wealthy people solve their problem is they might take a little bit longer to solve that problem, but they want the correct answer for that problem. They want that problem not to show up because they know that they'll have many other problems in this world that they have to deal with. So why worry about the problem coming up because you didn't solve it correctly the first time, rather than take a little bit longer, solve that problem, and get that problem checked off your list. I don't know who actually came up with the idea that the rich or the wealthy or the well-off people have no problems. Nothing to worry about whatsoever. Let me tell you something. We have the bigger problems out there. We might not worry about how much our rent is and making rent that month. We might not have to worry about making that bill money because we already have that bill money, paying our cell phone so we still have our cell phone bill, saving money for food. Maybe our problems aren't like that, but we have bigger problems. Maybe we have another problem that trying to get a deal done, you're losing money in constantly. It's not that we don't have problems. We just have a little bit more problems, bigger problems to deal with. We might not deal with those little problems, but our bigger problems may be we put money into a house and we're waiting to get that equity or that money back. We may be putting money into the stock market. We just have to get better at problem solving. You have to solve your problems, everybody. Don't think you can push your problems to the back of the side or give it a little band-aid and push it to the back. Guess what? No, because that's going to be a recoming issue along with all the other issues that's going to be coming on in your life. The problems don't stop, but how good of a problem solver can you be in this world? I just need everybody to get realistic on this page and everybody to get realistic, whoever is watching my page, and don't think it's always easier and dandy and fine and dandy on the other side, because it's not. What you need to do is do the same thing in your lane that you could be doing in the rich lane. You solve problems over there, you get better with smaller problems. Hey, now you might can handle the bigger problems in the world and how to solve those problems. But those of you who think you can just relax, kick your feet up and worry about those small problems and think that on this side it gets any easier, let me tell you now from firsthand experience, it just gets harder, more stressful. And guess what? You might even get a few more gray hairs going in there. I know whenever I started my entrepreneurship journey, I had about one gray hair. Guess how many I have now? About 10, gang. 10 gray hairs. Nothing I would trade for the world. I love my position. I love what I'm doing. And I just want to teach you guys you can do the same thing. But don't think it's easy over here and we don't solve any problems. All problems can be different, but it's how you solve them efficiently, and consistency is where you're going to get at. Sometimes you just have to sit back and think. Use your brain and actually think, gang. Write it down and do some research on it and to solve that problem. Don't just come up with an answer and a snap of a fingers and think you solved the whole problem and it's done and over with, because you don't want that reoccurring problem to come back. So what you do is you need to take it seriously, Take every problem seriously, big or small, and solve it efficiently. Really solve the problem. Don't just put a band-aid over it. And I think that's one thing that wealthy people and poor people don't have in common is solving problems. Like I said before, the poor or unwealthy people, they might solve problems really fast but only put a band-aid over it. Rather than wealthy, rich people, they're solving that problem and they might take a little bit longer. It might take a couple months. It might take a couple years to solve that problem. But once that problem is solved, they will never see that problem again. It's not a reoccurring issue in their life. You don't have to keep worrying about the same issue we already solved twice or even 5 times. Just for example, if you're in the lower class and let's say your bills are not getting met, you can't make rent every month, let's solve the problem. Instead of doing something fast, maybe changing course, getting a new job, getting another job, doing something, let's really look at the issue in whole. Why are we not meeting our expectations? And what is some things that we can do to make more money? It's not always about cutting down and cutting less. Cutting down and cutting less, I'm telling you now, it doesn't work. You will always accumulate more and more things as life goes on that you may need or may even want, and it's just on your agenda. You got to deal with it. So cutting down does absolutely nothing. But what you can do, and what's an easy option that a lot of people do, is go up. Why don't you plus your income? Why don't you figure out, that would be the next problem to be solving. Why don't you figure out how to increase, how to get more, increase your money, increase your income. How can we increase our income? How can we get another income or more of the income we already are in now to solve that problem? And we have to solve it. Maybe it might take you going back to school. It might take 2 to 4 extra years. Maybe it might take you learning a new skill. Might take you a couple years doing that. Couple months maybe doing that. It might take you putting into action right away. Maybe go to that flea market stand. Maybe start that business right away. Maybe sell them t-shirts. There's many ways to do it. This is not that video, but there are many ways to solve that problem. Don't rush and do it right away because you think that'll get a band-aid over it. Don't rush and quit your job because that might not be the problem. Don't rush and try to find a new skill knowing that might not be the problem. You might not need to know this skill. You might need to step back and go back to the books and learn how to make that extra money and that income for you to not have to worry about them bills anymore, for you to not have to worry about you being late on your rent anymore. I don't want you to go through that, and that's why I'm here, to help you out and to motivate you guys and say you don't have to go through that. So let's start making good decisions and good problem solving executions. Don't just go out there trying to solve the problem with any other answer out there. Solve it with the answer that will put that problem in a suitcase and ship that problem away. That you won't have to hear about that problem ever again, or barely ever again. Like I said, you will never not have problems. The only thing the rich and wealthy do is solve bigger problems. That's all they do, gang. They just solve bigger problems. They solve maybe real estate problems. They solve housing problems. Their problem may be how to get a tenant inside their house, because guess what? They have to pay that rent every month. So their rent is stacking up and they don't have a tenant in that house. That can be stressful. You're paying your rent, plus you're paying on your house that's supposed to be making you money and income every month, but you don't have tenants in there right now. So finding the perfect tenant, that could be a problem that is a good problem and is a bigger problem to solve. But guess what? We still got problems. So if you want to earn better money, you want to be better, you want to grow better, start by solving them little problems correctly, so you can start solving big problems and you can get up here with the big boys and play with the big gang. You know what I'm saying? Like, come on now. Am I not speaking facts, or am I speaking facts? I want everybody on this channel to be successful. And I'm telling you now, I would not ever lie to you guys, and I won't start now. You have to start solving these problems correctly. Stop leaving them aside. Stop half-assing solving these problems when they're just going to come back and you just got to solve the same problem over again. You might put a band-aid over it for a year, We might put a band-aid over it for 2 years, a couple months, but guess what? It's gonna come back. You don't want that problem to come back. So let's really start thinking about these problems that we're solving and get the correct answer to solve these problems in. Let's start doing some more research, gang. Like I said before, I want everybody to be successful on this page, but I also want to be 100% honest and telling you it's not easier on the grass ain't greener on no side. The grass is greener where you water at. And that is the best quote I've heard this month. The grass is not greener on the other side. The grass is greener wherever you water it at. Water it and it'll grow, gang. That's the best thing I could tell you. You have to stay focused, start solving them small problems like they will be big problems one day. And when you solve big problems, you get big money. When you solve small problems, you get small money. So you see where I'm going with it, gang? But once you learn how to solve those small problems, I want y'all to start small. I want y'all to start where y'all at now and the problems y'all have now. Because guess what? If y'all can't solve them problems, don't think you can jump over here and be in the A-League and get a home run right away. It don't work like that. You have to be able to build up your mindset and your knowledge enough to solve those small problems, and then you come up to the big thing, and it's still going to be hard, but guess what? You'll understand the process of how it works, of how problem solving works. Whether you're rich or whether you're poor, either one, you can still get it out here, gang. And I want you to get it just like I'm out here getting it. And that's the best advice that I got and that I could give you guys. Is it doesn't get easier. Everybody has problems in the world, whether you're rich or poor. It's just different problems to deal with. That's all I got for you guys today. Thank y'all so much for rocking with your girl and keeping it positive on this side and always keeping it motivated. And I always want to motivate you guys to do bigger and better than you did yesterday and tell you some new information that not a lot of YouTubers are saying now. Got to be a better problem solver. So thanks so much for rocking with your girl. It's Angie Spoto, and as always, peace.